A woman doesn't want to lift up your gut to give you any type of dome. You got to be honest with yourself. Because I wouldn't want to lift up no gut trying to put my meat in. Hell no, that's disgusting. You going to be goddamn sticking your meat in her belly button. She got so many creases. You're not a man to her. Today we are talking about the body that gets her soaked. And a lot of times when I make body game videos, a lot of guys, they don't like the harsh truth, the reality. They say that doesn't sound right. I debated Brian the other day, and he said unfit to unfaithful. That doesn't sound good. I don't feel like that's a good message. And I'm like, I think that's a great message because that's the truth. That's the honest, brutal truth. And that's something that the world hides from you today. They don't want you to hear the truth. They try to comfort you with all this bullshit. They try to sugarcoat everything, and they try to lie to you. All this stuff about body positivity, you just need an emotional connection with the woman. But you can't even get the emotional connection with the woman because if you're out of shape, you can't turn her on. She look at you and she's like, ew. If you're out of shape and she likes the conversation, she might put you in the friend zone. But you're not the one that gets her going. You don't get the waters flowing. When she sees you, she doesn't want to hop in bed with you. And yes, I know women are attracted to a multitude of things. And when it comes to short-term mating, body game is definitely more important, but it's still crucial for long-term relationships. And that's why you see so many guys in these relationships and they aren't getting any coochie. And I've talked to guys like this on TikTok where they're like, yeah, me and my wife haven't had sex in 2 years. 2 years. And a lot of times situations will be like this and they haven't had sex in 2 years, but they find out the woman's cheating. Recently, I went on a date with a girl and, she's going to school to be a therapist. And like I said, I've talked to a lot of women that want to be a therapist. I don't know how this happens, but, I read up on psychology a little bit, especially evolutionary psychology. So the conversation usually flows pretty good. And there was something I said, and I talked about how when women cheat, they usually want to go be with the new man. And so this girl I've been going on dates with, she hits me up. I got some tea to tell you. So I go out with this girl and she's like, look, my cousin is cheating on her husband. And she like, I realized what you were saying is right. Because now she's thinking about leaving her husband for this other guy. And I'm like, tell me more. Come to find out, the guy she's cheating on her husband with lives in a trailer park. I say, and this is what I told the girl. I said, he probably putting that D game down. He probably smashing that girl good and he probably in good shape. And she like, yeah, she said the sex with him is very good. So don't go into this mindset like, oh, if we have an emotional connection, it's depending how I treat her and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying that stuff not important. But I'm saying at the end of the day, her primal nature is still there. She's still going to that guy that gets that coochie wet. And her man makes good money. And you see this all the time. A girl, she'll get with a dude that makes good money. He's a provider. But he doesn't get the waters going. And a lot of women, they'll start cheating. And some of them, they might not do it physically, but mentally, they checking for other guys on social media. Now she's liking other guys' photos. And she's waiting for you to slip up so she can get out that relationship. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. As a matter of fact, my birthday's coming up this Saturday. And a year ago, I remember one girl I was seeing. We were like friends with benefits for a long time. And I would just see her like every couple of months. Black chick from Chicago. And she hit me up telling me happy birthday. And I knew she had a boyfriend, but she hasn't posted anything about her boyfriend for a while. So I'm like, they must be done with, So she texted me happy birthday and, sending me emojis and stuff like kind of flirty. And I said, you should come see me in my birthday suit. And she's like, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, I think that's a great idea. And that's all it took. And then I went to her place. Come to find out she was still dating a guy. And I seen, I'm guessing she's still dating the guy that I had seen on her Snapchat. The dude was slightly overweight. He doesn't get the waters flowing. And maybe it's a multitude of other things, but a lot of guys are not getting the action they want because your body doesn't turn her on. And it might sound shallow, it might not sound right, but that's the harsh truth. That's the reality. And I'm not saying that's all it takes. Like, if you get this big buff body, and Brian, he kept putting words in my mouth like, oh, you have to be this 1% body fat. No. But you have to have a body that you look like you could lift something. You look like you're healthy. That's what I was saying. You have to at least look like you're healthy. Now, if you really get dialed in, you take that physique to another level, that physique that turns into a freak. Yeah, some women, they just gonna throw themselves at you. Absolutely. They just gonna throw themselves at you. I promise you, my brother. But I will tell you this, man. A lot of guys let themselves go and they don't think about how bad of a position they're putting themselves in. They don't think about that woman. Like, these women nowadays are very sexual. And that's another thing. Brian hasn't been in the dating market for like 12, 13 years. These women are more sexual now than they were 12, 13 years ago. And I think really everybody is. Because you look at the music, it keeps getting worse. You look at social media, it keeps getting worse. Even going to the gym now, women wear less clothing than they did 12, 13 years ago. And that's not to say some of these chicks weren't, 304 has been here since the beginning of time. But it's more promoted now. The beginning of OF and stuff like that. There's not that much shame. And the shame keeps going away. The shame keeps dwindling down. So women are more comfortable with just being 304s. So she's going to hang around with women that are 304s. And it gets to a point where it starts to wear her down over time. So like I said, it just takes the argument. Some of these women aren't going to cheat on you, but she looking for that door. She looking to leave. And some guys, oh, Cole, that doesn't sound good. I'm telling y'all the brutal, honest truth, because that's what you need to hear. In this world, everything's sugar-coated. They tell you all this bullshit. But that's the real, man. And the same girl that told me like her cousin's cheating, this made me think of it, man. I was talking to her and, she claimed, a lot of women claim being feminist, but they really not about it for real. So I kind of had to go back on that. Like, some women say feminist, but they're like, I don't even know what that means for real. I just thought that means you support women. But I told her, this girl, I actually went on a date with her last night too. And I told her, I said, a lot of things sound good, but when you put them into practice, that's not the reality. And I think that's what Brian was doing. Like, let's say the pay gap, for example. You hear a lot of feminists say, oh, the pay gap, women should be making the same amount of money. And I'm like, how does that make sense? Because the man, he calls in less. The man's more likely to work overtime. So yes, he's probably going to make more money. And then he's not going to get pregnant and not want to go to work for 6 months. While the woman, she calls in more often. She doesn't want to work overtime. And then if she gets pregnant, now she's showing up to work half the time. She wants a couple months off. So which employee is going to be better? So if we made the same pay, at that point she's making more pay than the man. Because the man is doing more to deserve that pay. But that's something they don't talk about because it doesn't sound good. And this is the same thing when it comes to body game. It doesn't sound good that, yeah, if you slack off for too long, your woman's going to start looking at other men and her coochie's going to start getting wet for other men. And you see all these movies. You see all these shows. Every time she opens her phone, she's seeing something sexual. And she comes home to you and you look like a big back beluga back. Well, what do you expect? What do you expect? She goes online, she watching these movies, she see the Michael B. Jordan in the movie, and then you think her coochie gonna get soaking wet for you? You gotta be real about it. And like I say, Brian, he's been out at the dating market for a long time, and Brian, he's never been obese. But I've talked to guys that are extremely overweight. And I've talked to girls that dated guys that are overweight. And they're like, I couldn't do it. He's sweating all over me, his body look nasty, I can't get turned on. I told y'all this story too, even the guy that snuck me. And when I went out with the girl, the friend of his girlfriend, she was telling me like, yeah, she likes him, but his body is just, he's overweight. He catfished me. He used the photos when he lost weight and he doesn't look like that anymore. And she says she doesn't like having sex with him. And see, that's something a woman isn't going to tell you because it doesn't sound right. It's going to hurt your feelings. But sometimes you need to hear the brutal truth. A woman doesn't want to lift up your gut to give you any type of dome. You got to be honest with yourself. Because I wouldn't want to lift up no gut trying to put my meat in. Hell no, that's disgusting. You going to be goddamn sticking your meat in her belly button. She got so many creases. She got so many creases. You putting your meat in her armpit. You trying to hit it from the back. You putting your meat in some back rolls. And you think the coochie wet. Really, it's just the back roll with sweat rolling through it. Yeah, that shit nasty. I'm not dealing with no woman. So I'm telling you guys, don't be mad that the woman wants the man in shape. Become the man that's in shape. Become the man that turns her on. And like I said, there's many ways to do it. Find some type of training that you like to do and then get after it. Be disciplined. Actually eat food that serves your body. What foods can you eat that makes you feel good, that gives you energy? And that's why I say body game is part of the foundation. It's not the cherry on top. Because the cherry on top, you can take it off. It doesn't matter. I don't even like cherries on my milkshake, so I don't need a cherry. But when it comes to body game, it's an amplifier to everything. You're going to perform better in that bedroom when you're eating healthy and you're in shape. You're going to have more energy when you're eating the right foods and you're working out. You're going to have more confidence when you look in that mirror and you're proud of what you see. So we need to knock the bullshit off on like, oh, we just need an emotional connection, Cole. The emotional connection. The emotional connection is going to get you friend zone if that's all you're bringing. No, a woman wants a nice body that she's attracted to. She wants a man that can protect, provide. She wants a guy that can beat up them guts too. But they're not going to say that because that's not the politically correct thing to say. But I promise you, give a girl some weak D and see how she acts. Pipe a chick down. Pipe a chick down like there's no tomorrow and then see how she treats you. It's going to be like night and day. And that's why I tell you guys, you have to get between her ears, but you also have to get between her legs. When you can do both of those, that girl's going to be head over heels about you. But see, a lot of guys, they pick one or the other. Oh, I'm just going to smash this chick good and that's it. But you don't do anything else. Oh, I'm going to just get in her head, but you can't smash that girl right. And she has the guys in her past that smashed her right. She had guys in her past that look good. So even though you can get in her brain, if you look sloppy, she's still looking at these other guys. You know what I'm saying? And some women, they're not solid. Some women, they could get with any dude. They're going to cheat. They're going to be dirtbags. That's what it is. I'm not saying that body can turn a low tier woman into a valuable, good woman. I'm not saying that. And that's why I tell you, I think the most important thing is the selection of the woman, understanding female nature so you know if that's a good woman or a bad woman, a woman that's going to add value or she's going to take away from your life. That's the most important thing. But after that, I say the body game. But all this whole emotional connection to express yourself and all this other, knock that shit off. Being able to express yourself, that's not going to make that woman more into you. That's not going to get the coochie wet. I promise you. Oh, letting her know when you're sad and stuff like that. Dog, these dudes out here, and I done seen this before. These dudes out here, and even my ex, dog, she would defend her ex even though that dude was like beating her ass. He had no emotional control at all. But she was still head over heels about him, defending him, saying he's a good guy. And many women get in this position. Many women have dated guys that are abusive and stuff. They have no emotional control at all. A lot of guys that don't have any emotional control, they still not suffering in dating. Maybe long-term, meaningful relationship they suffer. But they can still attract women and get women to date them. So this whole thing like, oh, we just need an emotional connection. Knock it off, bro. Knock it off. That's the harsh truth. That's the reality. You can't be getting fat, sloppy, and expect a woman to get turned on. You can't expect a woman to be excited to hop in bed with you when you look like shit. And that's just what it is. Like, we don't have to overcomplicate this shit. It's very simple. I think Brian, he's saying shit that sounds good. And I'm not for saying shit that sounds good. I'm here to be real. I'm here to be raw. I think guys need to hear the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. But like they say, the truth shall set you free. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Get your body together if you would want a woman to really be attracted to you. The whole conversation, getting to know her on a deep level, that's important. But without the body game, without her being turned on, and it's not just about the woman, it's about how do you look at yourself. If you really care about yourself and really love yourself, you're not going to be sloppy. You're not going to be obese. If you really love yourself, you're going to eat foods that provide energy and feed your body and make your body stronger and healthier, man. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.